This video celebration of the Bentleyville Bicentennial is dedicated to the men and women who served in the U.S. Armed Forces. These individuals made many sacrifices, some made the ultimate sacrifice, to ensure our country and our community remain free. Bentleyville was established in 1816, almost 32 years after Seshbazzar Bentley purchased 1,050 acres in 1777. Bentley purchased the land surrounding Pigeon Creek in order to build a mill at the site of present-day Fox's Pizza. Bentley had a homestead on present-day 607 through 613 Main Street. This is the site of Seshbazzar Bentley's homestead as it appeared in 1916, and this is how it appears 100 years later in 2016. In 1790, Bentley rented 26 lots near his mill in an effort to establish a country village. The effort to establish a village did not become a reality until Bentley's son, also named Seshbazzar, formed Bentleyville in 1816. The S from Bentleyville was later dropped and the name changed to Bentleyville. Bentleyville became a borough on May 2, 1868. On July 20th, 1961, Bentleyville School District signed an agreement to become a member of the Bentleyville-Ellsworth Area Joint School System. The other districts in the new system included the borough of Cookburg and the townships of North Bethlehem and Somerset. During the first term of the jointure, the Bentleyville and Ellsworth high schools operated separate high schools but had a combined football team, basketball team, and band. For the 1962-63 school year, the Ellsworth building became the joint high school and the Bentleyville building housed the joint junior high school. On July 1, 1966, the joint system became a single school district as mandated by state law. The new district covered the same area, but now was administered by 9 school members who were elected at large. The new official state-approved name was the Bentworth School District. A new high school located on Ellsworth Avenue Extension in Bentleyville opened its doors for the students in September 1974. With the opening of the new high school, buildings in Cookburg, Scenery Hill, and Bentleyville were closed, and the Ellsworth High School building became the district's middle school, and the Bentleyville building, which previously served as the district's junior high school, became an elementary school. The present football field, located near the former middle school in Ellsworth, was constructed in 1954. Ground was broken on June 6, 1996 for the new elementary school. It is situated across from the high school on Bearcat Drive in Bentleyville. Students K-6 from the Somerset Elementary and Bentleyville Elementary buildings now attend the Bentworth Elementary Center, which opened on September 2, 1997 for classes. Dedication was held on September 21, 1997. Computers are available in every classroom with access to the internet. A multimedia center is located in the library. A new Bentworth Middle School was constructed in 2009. The building is state-of-the-art with the finest facility in the surrounding area. The property is situated about a quarter mile from the high school, and the property boasts a softball field and several soccer fields. With the Eastern European immigrants coming to the area, a need for religious education was seen, and the St. Clement School was constructed in 1923 with children from the surrounding areas attending. The frame building that housed the school was built in 1923 above St. Clement Church, and in 1966 it was renamed the Joint Catholic School. With enrollments declining, the school was sold, and plans are being made to construct an education center for young Catholic children at the former Knights of Columbus building on the Ave Maria Church property. The Bentleyville Borough building was dedicated on June 11, 2005. The building is named after former State Senator J. Barry Stout. The building houses the Borough Secretary, Assistant Secretary, Keystone Tax Collector, Magistrate Judge, Police Department, and Fire Department. Bentleyville was without a police department for 8 years. The Borough Council reinstated the police department in July 2014 and hired Rich Young. Chief Young was the chief at Bellsville prior to becoming Bentleyville's chief. The following is an overhead view of the primary election in May 2015 held at the Borough Building. Here we go through town starting in the 400 block of South Main Street. Starting at Pavlik's Funeral Home in the 400 block of Main Street, we head north on 917. Going down the hill on the left, we will get to Fox's Pizza, and on the right, the American Legion. Across the bridge on the right, Jet's Food Center, and just beyond that, the Veterans Memorial. On the left, the former bank, and the Central House, and the Shezbazer Bentley's former homestead. On the right, Fairpoint Communications. On the left, Greenlee's Funeral Home. On the right, Sherry Stupa's dental office. Left, former Timo's store. Left, True Value Hardware. On the right, the Methodist Church. On the left, Dr. McLean's dental office. On the left, former bank. And on the right, the Sunoco across from it. Coming up on the left, Thompson Road Funeral Home, and across from it, the medicine shop and the Presbyterian Church. On the left, former Brown service station now owned by Chuck. On the right, former Kurt's Auto Parts. On the left, former Pigeon's Bar, now the Bentleyville Tavern. On the right, the Bentleyville Borough and Fire Department. On the left, the post office. And on the right, Fire Department's social hall. On the right, Powell's Auto Body. On the left, Charlotte Federal Bank, and on the right, just past the Independent Club. And on the right, Debbie's Delight. The northwest corner of Main Street in Lincoln was initially a hotel called the Central House. This is a view how it looked in 1916. This is how it looked in 1966. And this is how it appears today in 2016. Starting in the 600th block of South Main Street and continuing north, we will see the former pictures from 1966 or 1916 and the current way the building looks. First, we have the phone company from 1966, and it has since changed hands to house the Pigeon Creek Sanitary Authority. And further up the street would be the Fairpoint Communications, formerly known as the Bentleyville Phone Company. Moving up to the intersection of Washington and Main Street, the former First National Bank as shown in 1916 and how it looks today. Just a little farther up the street, two buildings up the street on the left, which would be the west side of Main Street, is the former Dr. Booth residence from 1916 and how it looks today. And right next to the former Dr. Booth residence is the former French residence as shown from 1916 and how it looks today. It is located directly south of the Thompson Road Funeral Home. And here's a view of Main Street as depicted from the current Greenlee Funeral Home looking north. And this is that same view today. Further up the street, close to what is the present-day post office, is a view of the North Main Street from 1916 and how it looks today. Here is a view of the fire department hosing down the street in the 700 block of South Main Street in the 1960s. Notice Shaynack Bowling Alley on the left, Peeps Dairy Bar, and Minigo's Appliances on the right. And here is a picture of the home that was torn down in 1966 so that the current post office could be built. And here is a picture of the post office. There are three funeral homes in Bentleyville: Pavlik Funeral Home, Greenlee Funeral Home, and the Thompson Marody Funeral Home. The first is a view of the Greenlee Funeral Home in 1966, and the next is how it looks today. And the next is Thompson's Funeral Home from 1966, and renamed Thompson Marody Funeral Home, and what it looks like now in its current state. At the turn of the 20th century, workers migrated to Bentleyville and surrounding areas. They came from Italy, Germany, Ireland, Wales, Scotland, and several other European countries. Coal was being mined in this area as a result of the two Acme mines in Bentleyville, Gibson Mine, Mine 51 in Ellsworth, and Mine 60 in Cokeburg. This portion of the coal preparation plant from the Acme No. 2 coal and coke operation is still remaining and can be seen from I-70 near Wilson Road. However, nothing remains from Acme No. 1 mine. Acme No. 1 was constructed by Dunkirk Gas Coal Company. Another coal company, Pittsburgh Westmoreland Coal Company, in 1909, hired E.M. Rossing Engineering to build the Acme No. 2 coal mine. There were 300 rectangular coke ovens constructed. These coal company houses from the Acme mine still exist in Bentleyville. They were located at the end of the coke ovens. With the EPA issuing stringent restrictions on the manufacturing of energy, coal mining has hit new lows in production. Coal mining in this area has given way to the hydraulic fracturing of natural gas and oil. As you can see on the map, Bentleyville is on top of the Marcellus Shale region that is at the height of fracking in the northeast region of the country. The following pictures are of a fracking site near Warren Street, just outside of the borough of Bentleyville. A rail line went through Bentleyville and coal was hauled to the Monongahela River. The train went through Bentleyville several times a day. Residents often raced their vehicles to get ahead of the train crossings near Jets and the Dairy Delay. There was a train depot in Bentleyville near Washington Street. All that remains today is this pumping block. There was a brewery at 998 Main Street in Bentleyville. It was built in 1907 at a cost of $100,000 and employed 40 men. The 3-acre tract was purchased at $1,000 an acre, which was a real estate record at that time in Bentleyville. There was a brew house, engine room, boiler house, and ice plant. The present-day site houses a car wash, John Patricic's law office, and NovaCare Rehabilitation Center. Due to the influx of European immigrants, neighbors of like nationalities lived in close proximity to each other. A need for social activities led to the forming of clubs. This is a photo of the Lithuanian Club on South Main Street. The Polish Club was not very far away and is located near the former St. Luke Church on Abramitus Street. The Italian Club was located on North Main Street and is now called the Independent Club. Other clubs in Bentleyville are the Eagles and the American Legion. Another social club was located in the 100 block of South Main Street near Ellsworth. It was called the Sokol Hall. It was used as a dance meeting place for young people and also hosted the home basketball games for the Ellsworth High School between 1935 and 1939. The Sokol Hall, however, was raised in 1990. In addition to the social need, there was a spiritual need as well. There are several churches in Bentleyville that satisfy that need. On 711 South Main Street is the Methodist Church. On 812 North Main Street is the Presbyterian Church. St. Luke Roman Catholic Church is at 126 Church Street and became Ave Maria after it merged with St. Clement, Ellsworth, and St. Joseph Cokeburg in 1994. The Bethlehem Baptist Church is on Locust Street and is currently vacant. Reverend Davis is raising funds to build a new church at that same location. The First Baptist Church is located at the corner of 3rd Street and Washington Street. The Wesleyan Church is on Huber Road near Campground. The Assembly of God Church is located near the 32B westbound exit on I-70. The history of the Bentleyville Campground meeting place was taken from their website, and it goes as follows. Begun in 1867 by a group of Methodists, Bentleyville Camp Meeting was established as a place where perfect love, as preached by John Wesley, the founder of the Methodist movement, was to be taught and promoted. After the horrors of the Civil War, the hunger for God and for an experience of His cleansing of the soul and heart from impure motive brought thousands to camp on horse and buggy each year. Some estimated the crowds at 7,000 to 15,000 attended those camp meetings. Beautiful hillside grounds were leased for 25 years and then purchased in November 1891 for Martha J. Stevens, the daughter of Sheshbazzar Bentley, the town founder. Men and women of faith and vision have improved our facilities on the 20 acres and added many buildings. The unique main tabernacle structure was completed in 1907, a hotel 1953, dormitories 1963, children's center 1996, and upgraded nursery 2001. Have increased the usefulness of the grounds for everyone who comes. Over these years, many people have found life in the Lord Jesus on these grounds. Many today trace their spiritual life and their deeper experiences with the Lord to the camp meeting services and to the atmosphere of love and concern. The Berdovich Farm has been operated by the Berdovich family for nearly 100 years. The Hillcrest Dairy was the milk operation of the Berdovich Farm during the late 20th century. There was a milk store in the 300 block of Main Street in Bentleyville. There was also home delivery in the Mon Valley by Hillcrest Dairy. With the whole milk being labeled as unhealthy and 2% skim milk and other types of milk becoming popular, the Hillcrest Dairy eventually closed. This is a photo of the Bertovich family in the early 1900s. Next is a photo of the Hillcrest Dairy float, which is near the intersection of Main Street and Washington Street. The Bicentennials manage the farm now and raise beef cattle on the 144 acres. The farm is also the location of Hannah and Seshbazzar Bentley's grave sites. In the tradition of community service, the Bicentennials maintain the graveyard on the Bertovich property. The farm is the highest point in Bentleyville. Another business that lasted almost a century is Jet's Food Center. Started in 1930 by Romolo Jet Orsetti and his wife Connie, the business was thriving for 85 years. Jet ran the business well into his 90s. His son, Bob, and daughter, Leona, eventually took over the operation. The store closed in September 2015. The Bentleyville Volunteer Fire Department is a crucial part of Bentleyville. There have been many families associated with the fire department, but none more involved than the Chickatano family and their relatives. Without their dedication, the volunteer fire department would have struggled to be as efficient as they are today. Here is a video of Chief Ron Chickatano returning a truck. Hand in hand with the fire department's emergency response is the ambulance service. A new ambulance service was formed in 2015 to serve Bentleyville and surrounding communities. Jason Cole named his service Bearcat EMS Incorporated. Bearcat Ambulance is based on Pine Street in Ellsworth in the former Ellsworth Fire Department building. What a summer Bentleyville had in 1960. The citizens of Bentleyville entered a national contest sponsored by Kraft to obtain a Little League baseball park. Interest had never been more keen in any undertaking by the borough. More ways were devised to use Kraft caramels than the company dreamt possible. There was even a home run hitting contest starring St. Louis Cardinals Stan Musial and Ken Boyer and Pittsburgh Pirates Bob Skinner and Dick Stewart. This was held at the Charleroi High School Stadium and benefited Children's Hospital and Bentleyville's effort to win Kraft's $20,000 ballpark. On October 20, 1960, people gathered in the streets to hear a telegram declaring Bentleyville was the winner of the $20,000 baseball park. Little Leaguers and their sponsors sent in more than 53,000 empty caramel bags. The Caramel Park story was aired on NBC's Perry Como show on May 8, 1963. The film showed the players in action with many people in the grandstands. The team and their sponsors were taken to New York for their portion of the taping of the Como show, and Bentleyville residents watched proudly as the show was aired. This is an overhead view of Caramel Park today. The other park in the heart of Bentleyville is Richardson Park, the center for many activities. Up until the Bentleyville-Ellsworth jointure, the Bentleyville High School Bears played their home football games there. There were also circuses there, and most recently, Easter egg hunts, 4th of July celebrations, including fireworks, picnics, and soccer games. The park is very nice compared to how it looked 40 years ago. There is also a basketball court, a tennis court, a baseball field, a walking trail, 2 playground areas, and 2 pavilions. Parades are always a hit in Bentleyville. They used to start at Ellsworth and go all the way through to Lou's Dairy Delight. Here it is passing present-day D'Orazio's auto service, formerly a Sinclair station. Next is a 60s fire truck, and then Stanley Bell's old automobile. This 1962 parade is led by the Bentleyville Firemen's Band, followed by the May Queen, Joan Patrici, as she passes Nichols Service Station in the 600 block of Main Street, heading north to the Polifroni Apartments, later to be known as Castle Blood before they were eventually torn down. weekly highlight for Bentleyville is the Halloween parade. The following pictures were taken by Randy Ross Marodi and are scenes of the Bentworth High School Marching Band. Another annual tradition is honoring the deceased veterans who served to protect our country. On Memorial Day, a service is held at the Veterans Memorial in the 600 block of South Main Street. The Legion provides an honor guard and a 3-volley salute. Local dignitaries provide inspirational speeches. The Bentworth Band provides music. 2 middle school students and 2 high school students are given recognition for their academic achievements. Also, an award is given to any Boy Scout that shows his dedication to the Scouts and community. On a lighter note, 2 other gathering places in Bentleyville are the Bentleyville Lanes Bowling Alley and the 18-hole Chippewa Golf Course. There have been many successful people from the borough of Bentleyville. Most left the borough to pursue their professions. There are 2 success stories of men who stayed in Bentleyville, Senator J. Barry Stout and Vel Jansani. A third person whose life was cut tragically short was a Bentworth High School student, Alexandra Luce. Even though she is not a native of Bentleyville, her story is retold every year in Bentleyville. Alex was an exceptional athlete, breaking the WPIAL mile record as a freshman. She was a good student and most importantly, a good person. Her parents, Jim and Kathy Luce, formed the From Alex with Love Foundation, which sponsors a race for Alex. This is a 5-mile and 2-mile run and a 1-mile fun walk. The first Saturday in June every year sees over 1,000 participants. The money raised during this event is used to further scholarships and other philanthropic works by the foundation. J. Barry Stott ran successfully for the PA House of Representatives in 1970. In 1977, he ran successfully for the PA Senate. He retired after 40 years of public service. He always attributed his success to having a loving family, good friends, and a good staff.
Without the Stott family in southwestern Pennsylvania would not be where it is now. And of course, Senator Barry Stott, your work with us as Minority Chair of Transportation, we can't thank you enough, because what you have done is make a difference for the roads of Pennsylvania, especially the roads out our way.
And it all begins and ends right here in his hometown, our hometown, Bentleyville. When the dirt flies in southwestern Pennsylvania, you can be sure that Barry Stout is the leader in the effort to get things moving. He's an expert on transportation issues, and the construction of the Montpelier Expressway and the Southern Beltway are already having a huge impact on our economy. First, the construction jobs, followed by new business and job opportunities. There's a reason for it.
We raise our children, we educate our children, we've invested in our children. After they graduate, if they can't get a job, then they leave. We wonder why our population is going down. This is important that we have these job opportunities for the future, and that's why I strongly support the Montpelier Expressway and Southern Beltway project. This is not a Democrat road, this is not a Republican road. It's a road for the people of Pennsylvania. If we continue to work together, we'll be able to get this job done. It's really for the future of the young people of southwestern Pennsylvania.
His big message to young people is just look in the mirror, and that's the only person you have to answer to. Is the person you're looking at when you look in the mirror. And that has been one of Barry's biggest things with youth. It's always helped a lot of children out.
Vel Jansani began his football career during his senior year at Bentleyville High School in 1939. He played at both the running back and tight end position, scoring 9 touchdowns that season, and went on to win the Mon Valley's Most Valuable Player. Vel went on to play college football at Duquesne University and Villanova University. Pittsburgh Steelers selected Vel as an offensive and defensive end in the 10th round of the 1944 draft. Due to his service to our country, he could not join the team until 1946. His impact was felt immediately as Vel led the team in receptions his first season. In 1947, the Steelers reached the playoffs for the very first time. This was made possible in part by Vel setting club records of 35 catches for 599 yards and 5 touchdowns.
The Steelers rebound in a hurry. Jim Finks is back to pass. Ducks a tackler and heaves downfield. Bell Jancenti takes it and is downed immediately on the skin 33. Now it's a crisp afternoon. Real football weather in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where we look in on State Fair Park and find the Green Bay Packers playing host to the Pittsburgh Steelers. After a scoreless first quarter, Pittsburgh has the ball in their own 46. The ball is snapped to Gary, who drops back to pass. There goes the long one. Complete to Jancenti down to the 24. He's in the clear and goes over for a score as the Steelers move out in front 7-0 at the half.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the Jumbotron for a special presentation on the 1947 Pittsburgh Steelers. Ladies and gentlemen, the Pittsburgh Steelers have built a solid winning tradition over the past 68 years through hard work and dedication. Many players have worn the infamous black and gold through 4 stadiums and 8 decades of gridiron battle. Today, we would like to honor a team that holds a special place in Steelers history. In 1947, under the leadership of Coach Jack Sutherland, the Steelers rambled to an 8-4 record and a share of the Eastern Division title. This opened a new chapter to the Steelers' history as the 1947 team earned the Pittsburgh Steelers its first ever postseason appearance and the best winning percentage of any team prior to 1972. Fans, today, we would like to honor 14 surviving members of that 1947 team. Tight end and split end, number 54, Val Jancenti. At goal, Steeler fans, give a great Pittsburgh welcome to the 1947 Eastern Division champion, Pittsburgh Steelers.
Pictures were taken from Bentleyville's old newspaper, the Courier, and depict businesses in Bentleyville that are no longer in existence. A view above 3rd Street, starting at northeast and going a 180-degree turn to the southwest. This view is of the west side of Bentleyville, starting near the Lincoln Main Street interchange and continuing up to the Main Street and Washington interchange. This view starts behind the Presbyterian Church on Main Street and continues north along 917 until it nears Debbie Delight. The Bentley Tower is located at 304 Washington Street on the corner of Washington and Fry Avenue. It has 90 units and is used for the elderly and disabled. This is a newer section of Bentleyville called Meadowview Plan near Carmel Park. David Drive is the main road that goes through it. This view starts where the future roundabout will be constructed just north of the pilot truck stop, and this covers the industrial area along Wilson Road. This view shows King's Restaurant, the Holiday Inn Express, and if you look to the rear of the Holiday Inn Express, you'll see what's left of the Acme Mine coal preparation plant. And there is also a view of the Best Western, which houses the Mon Valley Sports Hall of Fame. This 360-degree view of Bentleyville was taken above Richardson Park. This 360-degree view was filmed above the end of Warren Street near the fracking site. The following scenes were provided by Nancy Pilar and show construction of Interstate 70 near Bentleyville in the late 1940s. The bridge shown is the current State Route 917 bridge, soon to be rebuilt by PennDOT. Some of today's businesses not previously shown on the drive through Main Street are DeRazio's service station. Built in 1966 by Jerry DeRazio, it was sold to his brother Tingo in 1971, and he was soon joined by his sons Dave and Don. Don is currently running the station with his son Mike. Also on South Main Street is Powell's Transmission, Bozovich's State Farm, Bodgewick's Used Cars and Service, formerly Bodgewick Chevrolet, Cenemed Medical and Rush Accounting in the same building, which was formerly Caldwell's, and a bank. The 700 block is the Laundromat and Watkins Beauty Salon. On North Main Street is Just for Fun, formerly Bell's Ford, the Golden Dragon Chinese Restaurant, Good Times on Tap, formerly the Angus Inn, County Home Assisted Living, the library, which also houses the Senior Citizen Center, the Historical Society, and Representative Peter Daly's office, Dr. Yonish, Doctor of Optometry, Schultz Insurance, and Red's Garage. On Oliver Avenue is LoJack Custom Auto Shop and Chester Andrzejczyk's Barber Shop. On Johnston Road is Brian Hashett's Chiropractor. There are 2 medical facilities in Bentleyville on Wilson Road, Gosai and Gandhi's offices, and the Centerville Clinic's Bentleyville Family Practice. So what does the future hold for Bentleyville? Our borough is dependent on Interstate 70 as our location made commerce a major factor in the development of Wilson Road. The borough's infrastructure is vital to its development, whether it is a small bridge such as this one installed in the 1970s on Washington Street, or in the future roundabout at I-70 exit 32B, or the bridge being rebuilt at I-70 exit 32A, which is State Route 917, passing over Interstate 70. The Newkirk Church, shown here, will not survive the changes made to Interstate 70 at exit 32B. However, the cemetery that you see to the right will be preserved. An archaeological dig was performed near the State Route 917 and I-70 exchange. Several artifacts from the early Indian days were discovered there. Once these items are analyzed, they will be turned over to the Bentleyville Historical Society to be displayed. Recognition is given to the Bentleyville Historical Society. Starting in the front row, going left to right, we have Randy Marodi, President, Marla Stankus, Secretary, Karen Pepper. In the back row, Chester Andrzejczyk, Vice President, Connie Gettings, Treasurer, Craig Fields, Eileen Ziak, Lisa Stott Basham, and Kay Stepp. The Bicentennial Committee is comprised of the following persons. In the front row from left to right, Barrett Greenlee, Nancy Villar, Marla Stankus, Secretary, Lisa Stott Basham, President, Brittany Jansani, Randy Ross Marodi, Vice President. In the back row, Patty Gretchen, Jean Brown, Connie Gettings, Tom Brown Mayer, John Timo, Eileen Ziak, J.J. McNerlin, Anne-Marie Klowoski, Tim Jansani, and Karen Pepper. Missing from the photo, Stan Glowoski, Treasurer. The following from left to right are representatives of the Bentleyville Borough. On the far left, Roy Lammer, Counselor, Brittany Jansani, Counselor, Wayne Hyde, Counselor, Kim Sacco, Secretary, Stan Glowoski, Counselor President, Tom Brown, Mayor, Bob Paul, Counselor, Shannon Watson, Counselor, Ruth DiNardo, Assistant Secretary, and Tim Jansani, Counselor.